So I was looking down at my little bilge area and I noticed that there's some antifreeze. And after doing some investigation, I found out that what the deal is that I have my hose here and it's too close to the belt and it's been rubbing and it's finally rubbed through. So I just have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do over here. Good morning from Jones Island. So this morning we are heading back over to Friday Harbor. We had a little bit of issue with one of our radiator hoses. Basically, I had replaced a raw water line, and the raw water line was a little bit bigger than the previous one, and the actual engine cover pushed the raw water line that pushed the heater hose into the belt. So I'm going to go over to Ace Hardware in Friday Harbor. I'm going to find a connector piece. So good news, we might get to do a little bit of sailing. We'll see. Especially with our engine issue, it'd be great if we can really sail as much as possible. So we'll see. Well, right now we have some decent wind. We'll see what happens. So awesome. Well, it turns out that we're actually having a pretty decent wind condition right now. So we got some decent wind. We're doing a nice job making it over there. We have some fog, which is a little disconcerting. So, but yeah, we'll have to see. So. Yeah, I would have to say we are truly now in the fog, which is not super great. So not much we can do about it other than keep a good lookout, and we'll most likely start to sound our foghorn here pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and sound the foghorn again, please, Kath.
Okay. Maybe I'll put it up here. Ready?
Yep.
Dang, that's fun.
Well, it's supposed to be loud, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for doing that.
So,
good news. Yeah, I think so. Good news, we do see land, so it means the fog's letting up a little bit, so thank goodness. So hopefully we're halfway there, maybe one or two more tacks and we'll make it, which would be really nice. So yeah, awesome. Well, we are about a little under 2 miles from Friday Harbor. We are pretty much tacking up and down the San Juan Channel trying to get there. So our goal really is to sail into the harbor and drop sails there and kind of minimize our engine runtime. So so far so good. Yeah, life is good so far. So I think we may have one or two more tacks in us. So we'll see how that goes. So. Well, I think we're having a pretty decent sail today, Kath. What do you think? So,
yeah, it's been great, actually.
The sun finally came out.
Yeah.
It's been a little chilly.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to warm up a little bit. Hopefully Friday Harbor is right around the corner from us, so at least that's what it looks like.
Do we still need a tack, or?
Yeah, we will. Unfortunately, we will not be able to make it.
Okay.
Again, we're trying as hard as possible to motor the least amount. So, but yeah, no, awesome. Really enjoying it. Good news, Friday Harbor is in front of us. I think this should be the last tack. Once we get inside the harbor, we'll go ahead and drop sails, fire the engine up, and hopefully we can get a quick 4-hour temporary moorage there. So yeah, pretty good sail over here today, I must admit. Again, just a little chilly though. It's like a little over 50 degrees over here. So yeah, anyway, awesome.
So here we are, we're sailing in our friends Cascadia, have just crossed our paths. So very nice, very nice. Here we are, all going into Friday Harbor.
So Friday Harbor, when we went over there to go ahead and sort out the radiator hose, it was a bit of a whirlwind tour between going up to Ace, trying to figure it out, getting the right fitting, finding out I don't have the right fitting, Kathy go back up to Ace, etc., get it back, get into Sucia. It was quite the whirlwind, so I didn't really have a chance to film it, so I wanted to at least cover and talk about what we did. So as I said before, the radiator hose, this one was right here, was being pushed in by this raw water hose, which is now in the back. if you look at the previous footage, you'll in the front, and when the engine cover closed, it was pushing it in, and as it pushed it in, it was actually impacting the belt that's back in here. So to fix it, this ends up being a metric hose, of course, and it's actually equivalent to about 1/8 and 1 1/8 inch. Ace had 1 inch hose, or had a 1 1/4 inch hose. So one's a little bit too big, one's a little bit too small. A little bit too small, I was able to sort out by putting some amalgamating tape on both ends to make it a little bit bigger, and then they're all double clamped. So the way I fixed it was I cut the hose at where it was, I incurred the groove, and then I basically ended up putting an elbow. So there's a 1 inch elbow right here, so that covers it. And then I rerouted the raw water line to the inside. And this 1 inch elbow is pretty, I mean, between everything here, this is solid. This is not moving, it's not going anywhere. So, and if I stick my finger below, there's definitely clearance to the belt, which is good. And so that pretty well resolved the issue. But yeah, interesting enough, the engine cover is tight, and by the time you account for the soundproofing, it makes it even tighter. And we can actually, the outline's kind of going away now, but you can actually see the outline of this hose as it was before. So you can see as the engine cover was closing, it was pushing the hose in. The good news is, if anybody's ever interested on these 2 YM15s, there's a drain plug right here that requires a little Allen key, so you can actually drain the whole entire radiator at this location very easily. So we were able to collect the antifreeze, and then once we got everything put back together again, our friends from Cascadia had a sieve, put it back in here. Life is good, and it's in good shape. So problem solved. Off to our next challenge. Awesome. Okay, we got what we needed done at Friday Harbor. Wow, it was a bit of work. Didn't quite have the right size pieces to kind of put the hose together. I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Right now it's about 2:30. We have to make it to Sucia, which is a way bit, I think about 12 nautical miles right now. So anyway, so we'll see if we get to sail enough. This almost like is going to be a get there quickly type situation. So supposedly the currents are in their favor, so they're supposed to be like screaming down like the side of orcas, so here's hoping. So awesome. So we are back to where we started. On the port side we have Jones Island. On the starboard side we have orcas. Fossil Bay is still about 10 nautical miles away. It is currently 3:20 in the afternoon. We have not picked up the Waldron Express yet. I'm not sure if we're going to make it or not, because we're a little later than I thought we were going to be. So yeah, anyway, boy, geesh, I don't know about you, Kathy, but I'm tired.
Me too. Might be an early evening.
Yeah, a lot of work. Yowzer. So anyway, I think we'll most likely check in as we get a little closer to Sucia. So awesome. Sucia is ahead of us. We're about 3 miles away. Good news is our friends have a dock space and they're going to allow us to raft up with them. So yeah, awesome. We are at Sucia, rafted up against Cascadia over there. Interesting enough, they're having a pretty large minus tide, -3. At least one of our boats that's in our group grounded just a little bit. We pulled the keel and the rudder up all the way on Artemis, so no problems there. So I don't think I've ever seen less than 3 feet on the dust finder before, but Kath, what was it?
It was like 2.5 feet.
Yeah, 2.5 feet, pretty wild. Anyway, we're off on a hike, beautiful day, so we're here for at least one extra day, so not sure where we're going next. This video, hit subscribe and give us a big like down below. Thanks for watching.